He didn't tell anyone, but his daughter noticed something was different. She started showing up once a week to bring groceries and stay for coffee. At first, Eugene resisted. "I'm fine," he'd say, but over time, that coffee became a ritual, and eventually he admitted something that surprised even him. It's nice not having to carry everything alone. That's the shift. It's not weakness, it's wisdom. Knowing that accepting help isn't a loss of independence, it's a way of protecting it. Because when you allow someone to help you climb the stairs, or drive you to the doctor, or carry that heavy bag, you're actually giving yourself more years of doing what matters most. And not all help has to come from people. It can be a grab bar in the shower, a stool in the kitchen, a reminder on the fridge. These little supports don't take away your dignity. They preserve it. After 80, the bravest thing you can say might just be, "I could use a hand." Because the older you get, the more strength you show by choosing safety over pride, peace over struggle, and connection over isolation. Number 4. A presence the world starts to overlook. One of the more painful realities of life after 80 isn't about your body or your memory, it's about your presence. Slowly, you begin to feel invisible, not to the people who love you maybe, but to the world at large. The cashier looks past you to the person behind you. The doctor talks to your adult child instead of you. The server at the restaurant assumes you can't hear, or think, or decide for yourself. It's subtle at first. Then it becomes more frequent. And even if you try to brush it off, it lands somewhere deep. Because no matter how old we are, we still want to be seen. And when you've lived a full life, worked, raised a family, made decisions, weathered storms, it's jarring to feel dismissed just because your skin has folded or your hair has grayed. What hurts more is that it's rarely meant with malice. A fast world that forgets slow steps still carries stories. A society obsessed with youth that forgets the strength it took to reach this age. And unless you speak up, you risk shrinking. Not because you've lost your voice, but because others stop listening. I remember a woman named Irene, 86, who volunteered at a local museum. One day, a visitor asked the staff a question she could have answered in her sleep. After all, she lived through that very decade of history. But the question skipped right over her. When I asked her how she felt, she just smiled and said, "I'm used to it." But there was sadness in that smile, the kind that comes from being seen as furniture instead of fire. But you are not furniture. You are not background. You are still here, still thinking, still contributing. And just because the world sometimes forgets that doesn't mean you have to. So what can you do? You speak anyway. You ask the questions. You offer the opinions. You vote. You share your stories, even when no one asks. You stand up, even if your knees wobble. Because every time you claim your space in the room, you remind the world and yourself that you are not done yet. You are not invisible. You are a living library, a witness to time, a voice that still matters. And you don't have to shout to be heard. You just have to refuse to disappear. If you're still watching this video and finding these insights valuable, please comment number 4 below to let me know you're here. And if you haven't subscribed yet, I recommend you subscribe and turn on the bell so you don't miss any videos. Your support helps us continue creating good content to inform and inspire you. Now let's move forward. Number 5, a sense of regret. If purpose isn't redefined. As you move deeper into your 80s, a strange quiet settles in, not just in your home or your schedule, but inside you. Life slows, the calendar isn't as full, and with that slowness comes space. Space to reflect, remember, replay. That can be beautiful. But if you're not careful, it can turn into something heavy. Not the loud, dramatic kind, the quiet kind. The, "I wish I'd spent more time with them" kind. The, "Why didn't I take that chance when I had it" kind. the kind that shows up when you have time, but not always the energy or freedom to do the things you once postponed. This isn't something people talk about much. We celebrate the wisdom of aging, the freedom of retirement, the joy of grandchildren, and all of that is real. But so is the lingering question that often goes unspoken. What now? If you've spent your whole life working, giving, running, raising, serving, and then it all stops, it can feel like your purpose is fading with it. I knew a man named Stanley, 88. He had been a teacher for over 40 years. After he retired, he felt proud, but also strangely hollow. "No one needs me anymore," he said once. But that wasn't true. He just hadn't yet found a new way to be needed. Because purpose doesn't retire, it changes shape. Because purpose doesn't retire, it changes shape. Maybe you don't build houses anymore, but you build confidence in your great-grandkids with your stories. Maybe you don't lead meetings, but you lead with presence when someone is grieving. Maybe you don't solve big problems, but you solve loneliness with a smile to a neighbor. The danger of regret isn't that you've made mistakes. We all have. It's that you sit in them too long without turning them into something meaningful. But when you redefine purpose not as productivity but as presence, you begin to realize that you still have so much to give, not just to others, but to yourself. Because the most important work you'll do after 80 may not be for legacy or applause. It may be this: waking up with kindness in your heart, curiosity in your eyes, and enough courage to ask, how can I bring light today, even if just a little? That's not regret. That's redemption. And it's never too late to find it. Final thoughts. Reaching your 80s is no small thing. It's a landmark built on decades of love, loss, effort, change, and resilience. But with that strength comes new challenges, some of them subtle, others hard to ignore. And facing these realities doesn't make you weak. It makes you honest. It means you've lived long enough to see life for what it truly is: unpredictable, sometimes unfair, but still deeply worth showing up for. So, which of these 5 realities struck you the most? Was it the silence that comes when your social world begins to shrink? The frustration of a body that doesn't recover like it used to? The discomfort of needing help when you've spent a lifetime being the helper? Or maybe it was the invisible feeling that comes when the world moves too fast to see you, or the ache that grows when your purpose isn't clear anymore. Whatever it was, I hope you felt seen, because the truth is, you're not alone in any of this. Not in the slowing down, not in the forgetting, not in the questions that keep you up at night, or the moments that make you wonder what comes next. And here's the good news. Even now, even at this stage, you get to choose. You can choose connection. You can choose rest. You can choose to ask for help. You can choose to speak louder when someone overlooks you, and softer when someone needs your grace. You can choose to forgive yourself for what didn't happen and honor yourself for what did. This chapter of life isn't the end. It's the deep part of the story. The part where every word carries weight. The part where small gestures mean more than grand ones ever did. The part where your presence, your patience, your perspective, these become your power. Thank you for joining us today. We'd love to hear from you. Leave a comment below and share one thing you learned today and how you plan to use it in your life. Your thoughts are important to us, so don't hesitate to share them. Reading your comments gives us great motivation and encouragement. If you enjoyed this video and found it helpful, please like, subscribe, and share. Your support helps us continue creating good content to inform and inspire you. Thanks for watching, and we look forward to seeing you in the next video.